In Ethiopia, a massive dam is currently being built that could significantly double the country's electricity production. Or there's a long underwater tunnel between Denmark and Germany. It's being constructed to accommodate both road and rail transportation. In this program, we want to uncover the secrets behind these engineering marvels. These are projects that engineers and designers are working on with all their creativity and skill. So stay with me until the end of this video to see how these projects can change the lives of millions and shake up the global economy. Let's get to our top 5 list. I'll start with number 5. Let's start with the biggest dam in Africa's Horn. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is being built on the Blue Nile River. Construction of this dam began in 2011. Its goal is to generate 6,400 megawatts of electricity. That means Ethiopia's electricity production is set to almost double and turn the country into one of the major electricity exporters in East Africa. When completed, this dam will be about 1,800 meters long, or 1.12 miles, and 145 meters high. It stands 470 feet tall and also has a massive reservoir that can store 74 billion cubic meters or 2.6 trillion cubic feet of water. Just imagine how much water that is. The interesting thing is that this dam is being built entirely with domestic funding and contributions from the Ethiopian people. They haven't even used any foreign loans for it. Of course, part of this decision was due to national pride, and part of it was because of political disputes. In the end, not everyone agreed with building it. Countries like Egypt and Sudan, which are downstream of the river, aren't exactly happy about it. They say that filling the dam's reservoir might reduce their water share, especially during periods of drought. Over the years, there have been meetings and negotiations mediated by the African Union and international organizations, but they still haven't reached a comprehensive agreement. In any case, as of today, which is 2025, the dam has started generating some of its electricity, and a few of the turbines are now operational. But once it becomes fully operational, it's supposed to have 13 turbines and completely transform Ethiopia's energy industry. Besides generating electricity, this dam can also help control floods and be useful for irrigating farmland. However, some people have raised concerns about its environmental impact, because large dams can significantly disrupt delicate ecosystems or cause the widespread displacement of entire communities and numerous people. However, the Ethiopian government still firmly believes that this monumental project is absolutely vital for the country's economic development and future prosperity. It's widely considered one of the most important and impactful ongoing projects in the entire world, and recent reports clearly indicate that it's set to have its official opening in just a few short months. Now, let's jump from Africa to the Baltic Sea, where an underwater tunnel is set to connect Denmark's Lolland Island to Germany's Fehmarn Island. In fact, this route passes through the Fehmarn Belt Strait, and once it's completed, this tunnel will become the longest immersed tunnel in the world, with an approximate length of 18 kilometers or 11 miles. It will accommodate both a road and a railway, so both cars and trains can pass through it. The main goal of this tunnel is to significantly reduce travel time between Copenhagen and Hamburg, Germany. For example, the train journey will drop from about 5 hours to under 3 hours. The road trip will also be about 1 hour shorter, decreasing from around 4 hours to nearly 3 hours. In addition, this tunnel not only makes the route from Scandinavia to Central Europe faster and more direct, but it also eliminates dependence on weather conditions. The rail section is also very important because it becomes part of the large trans-European transport network of the European Union, which aims to improve connections and trade across the entire continent. Construction of this tunnel began in 2021, and its estimated cost is about 7.4 billion euros. However, due to financial fluctuations and changes in construction, the final figure might be a bit different. Currently, work is underway on the tunnel entrances, component manufacturing plants, and dredging operations on the seabed. It's moving forward seriously, and according to the plan, the project should be fully completed by 2029. The construction method is also really interesting. It's called the immersed tunnel method, which means several massive concrete segments are pre-built on land, then placed in a dredged channel on the seafloor and connected together there. Of course, in the construction of this tunnel, measures have also been taken to protect the environment, such as caring for marine mammals and seabirds, as well as managing sediment and water quality. The final tunnel is supposed to include these aspects. It will have 2 highway lanes in each direction, 2 electric railway tracks, and a service tunnel. This project, because of its large scale and complexity, is truly one of the most ambitious civil engineering projects currently underway in the world. All right, let's move on to number 3, the California High-Speed Rail Project. Right now, this project is considered the largest and most ambitious rail infrastructure project in the United States. This railway is supposed to connect the major cities of California together. The most important of these cities are Los Angeles, San Diego, and Sacramento. Ultimately, the length of this rail line is expected to reach about 1,300 kilometers, which is over 800 miles. The trains are also planned to reach speeds of 350 kilometers per hour or 220 miles per hour. They'll reach those speeds. Construction of this project began in 2015, and the project is managed by the California High-Speed Rail Authority. The first phase is a 275-kilometer or 170-mile section between Merced and Bakersfield, because the route is relatively simple and passes through flat farmland. According to the current plan, this operational section will be put into service in the early 2030s. Later on, it will be extended towards San Francisco and Los Angeles. However, the biggest challenge for this project has always been funding, which has risen from the initial $33 billion to over $100 billion. The reasons are inflation, problems with land acquisition, and engineering complexities. In addition, this project has faced legal disputes, environmental reviews, and it has also been entangled in political debates about its scale and cost. In any case, if this project is fully implemented, it will transform travel in California because it offers a fast and sustainable option that reduces dependence on cars and airplanes. And it could even serve as the model for high-speed rail development across the entire United States. Now we come to the Gordie Howe Bridge, shining like a jewel in Detroit. It gleams between America and Windsor, Canada. This bridge spans the Detroit River. It's constructed with pylons about 220 meters or 700 feet tall. By pylons, I mean those huge, sturdy columns that the cables of suspension and cable-stayed bridges are attached to. In short, the height of the Gordie Howe International Bridge pylons is almost as tall as a 70-story building. The length of this bridge is also set at 2.5 kilometers, which is about 1.5 miles. It's been built. Construction of this bridge started in 2018, and according to reports, it's now approaching its final stages. One thing is that this bridge will be ready for use in a few months, in 2025. However, the execution of this project isn't limited to just the bridge itself. The entry and exit terminals are also being completed almost simultaneously on Highway 401 in Ontario, Canada, and Interstate 75 in Detroit. In the US, these terminals were built along with the bridge itself because without them, the bridge would basically be useless. The name of this bridge is taken from a legendary Canadian hockey player, and its purpose is to facilitate the busiest trade routes. It's meant to handle high-capacity traffic between Canada and the US and reduce the time it takes to transport goods between the two countries. In fact, this bridge is set to replace the old bridge that was built in 1929 and has long been in use. Because it's old and has limited capacity, it causes traffic jams. I'm talking about the Ambassador Bridge. But when this new bridge opens, it will bring about a real economic transformation for Canada and the US, since more than 25% of the two countries' trade passes through this area. And that means hundreds of billions of dollars every year. All right, now it's time for number 1 on our list. That is the Sydney Metro, which is the largest public transportation project in Australia and the country's first fully automated metro system. It operates without a driver, and it's fast and precise. This metro is planned to have 4 lines, covering a total of 113 kilometers. It will also have 46 stations, connecting key areas across the entire Greater Sydney region. The goal of this project is to reduce travel times, ease congestion on the existing rail network, and support the city's growing population. The first phase of this project, called Sydney Metro Northwest, opened in 2019. This phase has 13 stations and also includes the longest railway tunnels in Australia. That's about 15 kilometers or roughly 9 miles of tunnel. This line connects Rouse Hill in the northwest to Chatswood. The next line is Sydney Metro City, and Southwest, which is currently under construction and extends the existing line from Chatswood. It continues all the way to Bankstown in the southwest. This section includes two 15-kilometer or 9.5-mile tunnels under Sydney Harbour, that is, Sydney's harbour, and the city centre, which, due to geological conditions and urban density, is considered one of the most challenging projects in Australia's history. The Future Line. The next ones are Sydney Metro West and Western Sydney Airport, which are actually the Sydney Metro West Line. It connects the main business centre to the city of Parramatta, which is considered the second major commercial city. The Western Sydney Airport line also directly connects the new Nancy Bird Walton International Airport to St. Mary's and the rapidly growing areas. As a significant result, when this crucial project is fully completed, Sydney Metro will truly transform the entire way people commute in Australia's largest and most vibrant city and provide a fast, reliable, and highly efficient service for everyone. In my opinion, these projects aren't just engineering marvels, but also a reflection of human ambition and the pursuit of a better life. But what do you think? In short, sometimes we forget that behind every massive structure, there are thousands of people who have put in thought, effort, and creativity. But these 5 megaprojects show how engineering beyond imagination can change the lives of millions of people, boost the economy, and even impact the environment.